Hello and welcome back to BPD and Me. I am Nicole and this is my third video that I am making, and I'm kind of proud of myself today. I took a step and did makeup and I did eyelashes, and however I took a nap because I was really exhausted. BPD can do that. Constantly having your emotions going all over the place. It's like running a marathon. It's all the time. It makes you tired, and I need naps a lot. Anyway, so did that. Did my makeup. Took a shower. Did not do my hair. I lost interest in caring at that point. I got really sad after that, and I thought about what's the point, and then my suicidal ideation started, and that's a slippery slope. Once that starts, it's not ominous, it's enveloping, and it hits you and you're in. And it's a very big part of borderline personality disorder, suicidal ideation, thinking about suicide, even planning suicide. So this is not a doctor YouTube, but if you think about suicide, please get help. Please call 911 and get some help. We're gonna start our first book today. This one, it's called Sometimes I Act Crazy. Do you know how many times I have been called crazy? Oh my God, she's crazy. Oh my God, your mom's crazy. Oh my God, she's crazy. I have heard this about me. I have seen it written about me. Oh my God, I don't even know how many times. When you hear it enough, you start to think you are. But if you have BPD, you're not. You just have an illness. And you're not crazy. You just have a personality disorder. You struggle with regulating your emotions, and that doesn't mean you're crazy. To all of you out there calling us crazy, or not. Anyway, this is the book we're going to start. What we know and what you can do about BPD. Sometimes I Act Crazy. Living with Borderline Personality Disorder. Living with Borderline Personality Disorder by Gerald J. Kreisman, MD, and Hal Strauss, authors of I Hate You, Don't Leave Me. Also, another area of BPD, abandonment issues. Chapter 1, Borderline Basics. That's where we should start, right? I'm a rule follower. All right. There's a quote at the top. There is in every one of us, even those who seem to be most moderate, a type of desire that is terrible, wild, and lawless. That was by Plato. Yes, I think that of myself a lot, that I am terrible, wild, and lawless. The thoughts that go through my head are terrifying, and what I am capable of in my head, it's scary. And if you have borderline, you understand. You don't want to say it out loud, because if you did, what if you did it? Then you'd be in prison forever. What do we do? I don't know. Moving on. Borderline personality disorder, the most common personality disorder seen in clinical settings, I didn't know that, is excruciatingly painful to live with, both for the sufferer and those closest to him. Yet despite the prevalence of BPD, it may be the most misunderstood and undiagnosed mental illness. This chapter provides a broad discussion of the disorder, from biological, genetic, and environmental causes to the most current DSM diagnostic criteria to the various forms of psychotherapeutic and medical treatments. The obstacles to properly diagnosing BPD, such as its stigma within the mental health profession and the vagaries of insurance coverage, are also examined. A BPD checklist gives the reader a chance to detect BPD's early warning signs in himself and others. Diana. That's my middle name. Not about me. Diana. In many ways, Diana was a typical girl. She loved to play with her dolls and, like her friends, dreamed of someday marrying her Prince Charming, who would whisk her off to his castle where they would live happily ever after. But somewhere along the way, Diana veered into a different dimension. She crossed the boundary from ordinary into borderline. This change in direction might have been influenced by her mother, who was very close to Diana and who abruptly walked out on the family when Diana was 6 years old. Her father was left to rear the children, but he was emotionally and often physically distant, leaving Diana and her siblings in the care of a nanny. Diana would be frantically anxious when he was gone, inquiring constantly as to when he would return. Periodic visits with her mother left both Diana and her mother in tears. During this time, Diana became more moody and insecure. She was afraid of the dark and of being alone. She was very sensitive and would cry easily. She clung to her menagerie of stuffed animals, which she called my family. Diana tried desperately to please both of her parents, while secretly blaming herself for their divorce. She felt she was not good enough to keep them together, and developed a fear that everyone she loved would eventually abandon her. When she was 15, Diana became more concerned about her appearance, and, like her older sister, began to induce herself to vomit after eating. I used to do that when I was little. She entered into a pattern of anorexia and bulimia, which intermittently plagued her for the rest of her life. Yes, it does. Your whole life. The fractures in Diana's personality became more prominent during adolescence. She could be charming, charitable, and remarkably empathetic with friends at times, but on other occasions, she exhibited an unpredictably cruel rage when these same friends disappointed her. Sometimes during stressful periods, she appeared calm and stoic, but at other times she became irrationally emotional, alternating between inconsolable grief and ferocious anger. At 20, Diana married her prince, Prince Charles of England. Yet Princess Diana did not live happily ever after. As her fairy tale marriage disintegrated, so did her manufactured facade of equanimity. I don't know what that means. She became more overtly impulsive and self-destructive. She threw herself into charity work, perhaps hoping to derive for herself the kind of caretaking she was bestowing on others. The affliction of borderline personality plagued Princess Diana until her untimely death in 1997. And we'll stop there for today. Tomorrow we will move on to the next section, Advances in Diagnosis and Treatment. Thank you for stopping by. And kind of crazy about Princess Diana, huh? She was special just like us.